we're looking at the political failures of Paul Biya. Now, we were saying that Paul Biya was born on 13th February 1933, and he is a Cameroonian politician who has served as a president of La République du Cameroon since November 6, 1982. Now, he is the second longest ruling president in Africa and the oldest head of state in the world. Now, look at his political moves in the last 5 years of the senseless war. Now, while addressing the Paris Peace Summit in 2019, Biya said he had brought some few words to the event. This perfectly sums up Biya's 7 mandates as president because it's rare for him to speak out on pressing national issues. When Cameroon was hit by the coronavirus pandemic earlier in the year, 2020, Biya 2020, Biya stayed out of public view for 2 months. He finally made a televised address to the nation in May 2020. Biya's aides and supporters have described this phenomenon as presidential silence and argues that his attitude is a sign of maturity and wisdom. But do you agree? Well, I'll leave you to that. What I see is a country adrift without leadership, crumbling under conflict and poverty.
And now, more recently, it took the aging president over 48 hours to tweet his condemnation of the deadly Kumba school massacre, the shooting in October. In other instances, like the February killing in Ngabo village in Cameroon's restive northwest region, Biya remained mute. As Cameroon's Anglophone crisis drags on, longtime leader President Paul Biya has been virtually invisible. This has had devastating consequences for the conflict and for the country, says Mimi Mefo Takambu. According to Mimi Mefo, she said, "I've never managed to lay eyes on the 87-year-old president because Biya is virtually absent from public view. He's hardly ever in parliament, invisible on the campaign path, and has hardly ever been seen. He even avoids interviews with the media. He avoids interviews with Cameroon, with dozens of Cameroon's media outlets, private, and even his own media TV, where they used to sell out their propaganda."
Now, the violence has claimed thousands of lives and has displaced over 1 million people. Even worse, Biya has avoided taking responsibility for government's failure. Human rights groups worldwide have widely condemned Cameroon's military for extrajudicial killings in the southern Cameroon Amazonia. Yet, Biya, the commander-in-chief of their armed forces, has claimed that soldiers acted on their own. Now, between the mayhem caused by Boko Haram in the northern regions, the dilapidation of state institutions in the east and south of the country, and the conflict in the Anglophones region, Cameroon's economy has been left in ruins.
Now, the longest ruling president is a fact, but not necessarily a compliment or instant honor, especially seeing the fact that the longest ruling president, Paul Biya, reign has only brought levels of penury worse with every passing year of his ruling. The duty of a leader, especially that of a nation, is to take the people forward, economy-wise, security-wise, the health sector, the education system, and ensure sustainable development. And if as a leader you're unable to do that and you're rather doing the opposite, the plight of the people should make you resign office and give another prospect candidate the chance, as we've seen in the case of Liz Truss. If truly the plight of the people are your concern, you will not enjoy the title and role of a president when the nation keeps going backward and downward. Cameroon is tagged a country in crisis under Paul Biya's ruling for 40 years now, and also tagged by the International Monetary Fund, IMF, as a failed state.
Now, there has been economic crisis resulting in rising prices in Cameroon, trade deficits, and loss of government's revenue. The government of Cameroon acknowledged the crisis in 1987. Civil unrest, economic meltdown, dilapidation of roads, job losses, impoverishment, homelessness, and more have been on the rise in a self-inflicted war-torn country. The one-time citizens of his country thought he was gifting them when he promised in his 2016 framework of a special youth plan, where he promised 500,000 laptops to university students. It turned out the government was borrowing money from China, that is in the tune of 75 billion francs CFA, to obtain these laptops from a Chinese company. Now, this project a gift as claimed by the government, as it was a loan obtained binding on the country to repay, and the burden of repayment will fall upon the taxpayer, not even the president. Now, the economy is on perpetual decline and is nothing worthy of an accolade for 40 years.